What's up, people? You already know me, it's MSD, and it's also Spoots. He's here, and I'm gonna put him down now. There you go, buddy. And I am actually big. Wow, let's put that down the scale. Cool. Alright, so what do I have for you guys today? I did say I would make a Smash video. Probably not the Smash you were thinking about. Okay, so I got one thing that has been on my mind for the last 6 months. 6 months ago, I went to I went to a tournament that some of you might know as Smash and Splash. Smash and Splash 5. And for fun, I did not plan to do all because I didn't practice. I meant to compete in Melee. And I did. That was probably the only successful bracket they ran during all of Smash and Splash 5. And if you went there, you know how much of a dumpster fire all that was. Because I had A1 pools. I think my first match, I don't know, I was in the same pool as like Wizrobe, which I found really funny because he ended up winning. Anyways, something clicked that day, and not super positively, but I realized how much I suck, and it kind of broke my heart. So a little bit of background to what I have done in Smash. Noticeably nothing, but it's been my life ever since 2013. I started off with Project M, and I'm talking in a competitive sense. Everyone has played Smash Brothers at some point, right? But when it comes to a competitive atmosphere, I started in late 2013, back in college, in the midst of a huge depression for me, PM saved me. As weird as it sounds, PM saved me. Cursed game. Should've let me die, man! No, I'm kidding. So, NPM, that's when I really learned all about, like, the technical stuff for Smash Brothers. I learned about, like, the gods of Smash and all that. Like, everything was so new to me. Everything was super exciting. And when I broke down to who I wanted to play, I did not play who I thought I wanted to play. Because who I wanted to play, I could not play very well. So I just kind of gave up. So what I ended up doing is I ended up playing Lucario, because Lucario was super cool to me. The Aura Sphere, the big ass Aura Sphere, oh my god, fire! So I played Lucario, and then I also played a little bit of Mewtwo, but Lucario was like the main squeeze. So then, not long after Smash 4 came out, but there was a gap in between there, where very briefly I played Melee. And I remember, back in college, I went to community college, but they had a lobby just for gamers, and it was so amazing, because what seemed really, like, I guess oblivious to me, is that so many people brought their own CRTs. And it was such an amazing atmosphere, because first of all, I didn't know about the lag and all that stuff with the HD TVs. So when I saw people bringing in their own monitors and stuff, like, it was so cool. That people had that commitment to a video game from, like, 2004, something like that. And so there was a small point where I played Melee, and I didn't know who to play. I think I ended up going like a little bit of Peach and Ice Climbers, but I didn't really know what I was doing. Smash 4 came out, and that's when I really became a Ganondorf main, because Ganondorf was sick. Like, bad, but sick. And eventually, at one point, I had a friend. He used to go by the tag of Hot Toddy, or Hot Todd, and he was friends with Bizarro Flame, and he introduced us. I remember, I think there's still a clip on my old Twitch channel, He Who Shall Not Be Named, where Bizarro came onto my stream for the first time, and I was blown back. Sometime later, he actually taught me how to play Ganondorf properly, and Ganondorf became a main, not just in Melee, but in Smash 4, in Ultimates. I didn't go back to PM, and he wasn't in 64. I also never played 64, so... well, not in that sense. I played it like casually with my best friend, Kayla. And, yeah, so that was the thing. And I've honored Ganondorf to this day. Stream loves it when I go Ganon, don't you guys? And so, when I went to Smash and Splash, I went Falco. And don't get me wrong, Falco's sick. I love Falco. He's super dope. But I didn't duo. I really sucked. And I would like to return to Melee as Falco and Ganondorf. Ganondorf being the secondary. And maybe a Pocket Pikachu, because why not? Those are like the 3 characters that I will be playing efficiently by the end of this year. Now you might be asking yourself, well, how? Well, there is one Smash player that I have a lot of respect for, even though there's a lot of times where he makes me facepalm in the eyes of the public. And that would be Leffen. And so, there is a tutorial guide that he made. And I would like to review it with you guys, see what he's explaining, and see if I can implement it into what I want to do. So, just like a full disclosure, his combo, or his training video is based around Fox, and I have no intention of touching this lame-ass character. Let's be real. So, why don't we go ahead and head on over there. Now, I'm making this video super early in the year, right? I will not be making videos on Smash Brothers, on Melee, constantly. At most, like once a week, I'm thinking. And what I'll be doing is like I'll go back to NetPlay and see what I can do in NetPlay, and that one weekly video will be kind of like not just content, but it'll also be for me, so I can see how I'm improving and kind of make like a vlog out of it. So without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and I can't even do the thing. Come on, where is it? Alright, we're gonna go ahead and kill that, and we're gonna go ahead and play this.
So this is the Fox practice guide. Basically, I'm gonna go through 1, how I learned tech, 2, a couple easy things that everyone needs to have down with Fox.
Alright, so I'm sorry about that. I lost my mouse. Alright, so
Fox practice guide.
Let's see. This introduction, we're going to listen to that, how he learns tech, see if we can do that. We're going to skip over the Fox-specific tech because that doesn't really apply to us, clearly. And then the training routine, I am very interested. I had seen this back when he first posted it in May of 19. But that was the only time I saw it, because that was hyping me up for Smash and Splash. And I didn't fucking even do it.
How I learned tech. 2, a couple easy things that everyone needs to have down with Fox that will help you get started, and it will help you, like, there are more specific Fox than other characters that often people forget. And 3, what a practice routine does for you, and what a practice routine I've used before might look like. And like, this is more of a template for the practice routine, so you can see how does it look, how can I input my own. You can use this for any character, but obviously Fox is one of the characters that needs the most tech skill. So
yeah, and
first off,
that's kind of the goal.
I'm playing on Uncle Punch. Sometimes practice on 20x, sometimes vanilla melee. You can do a lot with just vanilla melee, but I like playing on Uncle Punch because there's a bunch of different things here that you can turn on that make it obvious if you're fucking up or if you're not executing something perfectly. And if you're not executing it perfectly, why is that? You can put L cancel here. You can put.
So I actually haven't ever touched Uncle Punch, but I do have a 20XX. So I know that like a lot of this stuff you can turn on in the menu, but it's nice to see it as an actual menu here.
There's tech, act out a shield frame, space E-tech, shield drop, dash back. Like, there's so many things here. The main ones we're going to use for now is I'm going to demonstrate it with ledge dash, combo counter we're going to use later, and wave dash timing. So these are the ones we're going to use first. And I also use universal control pick since most tournaments run on that. If you don't know how to download 20xx or UCF, there will be links in the comments and in the video description. So first off, there's a ledge dash training, and there's a council one. I don't like using either of these. I actually use exercise for most of it when I just want to like practice one specific thing. Say output Fox and start. Now in the newest version of Uncle Punch you can select stage, which is really helpful, but yeah, Battlefield is a good starting stage. So first off, this mode is just like how many eggs can you hit, and I think this is a pretty good warm-up. It helps you practice L canceling, it helps you practice at just like hitting different spots, but that's not what we're going to use for it today. But you could use this as a warm-up if you want, if you like. What you'll do is we'll just press D-pad down and the time will start going up instead. And now you can use this for chicken time and stuff like that if you want. So you don't really have to concern yourself much about the angle. I think looking at that is really stupid. With Fox, generally when you wave dash, you just want to hit down and forward, or back and forward, or straight down. Those are the main ones.
I think that's going to be the same for Falco.
Dashes, but generally they don't matter too much. So definitely, especially when starting out, concern yourself with down forward mostly. So as you can see, I'm hitting mostly frame perfect wave dashes. I would say in general, you can aim for either frame 1 or frame 2. But if you fail, I think it's better to fail by hitting frame 3 or frame 2 than hitting frame 0, like doing it too fast. Because if you press it too fast, you get a full jump. If you press it a little bit late, this is all that happens. So it's a very common problem when people learn wave dashing. They press it too fast, especially with Fox. And the way I would learn anything, and goes for any fighting game I've ever learned, is...
So, one thing about wave dashing that I was taught back in the day by some college friends is to start off with the slippier characters. So start off with like Luigi or Ice Climbers, because they have such a noticeable wave dash. And then when you really want to get more precise with it, you go to like floaty characters like Jigglypuff, because they don't have much of a wave dash. I'm not sure if I'll go that far. I think I'll definitely just focus on Falco and possibly Ganon. Go from there.
You start by breaking it apart, mastering each input, and becoming comfortable with it, and then trying to bring them together, and you start very slow. So for wave dashing, most people use full jump. So you just like think about full jumping, and you think about, you know, like holding the direction. So full jump pressing down forward, and full jump like pressing down back without getting a dash and then jump. So jump, then down back, jump, then down back, jump, then down back. Because if you press down back before, then you will turn around, and that's not what you want. Especially like when you're in shield. You can test this. You want to be able to get that and not that. And then you try air dodging. And first off, you can try doing it too fast, pressing them at the same time. And then you can try doing it super slow, like exaggerate. Just try to exaggerate in the beginning. Like jump, and jump down forward, or just jump. And then air dodge super late, and then do it slightly faster.
So I haven't really played Melee in months. I don't think I need to worry too much about the execution for wave dashing, because I feel like somewhat comfortable with it already, and I'm pretty sure the muscle memory will kick it back. So I'm just skipping forward a little bit.
A little bit faster, or
he's still going over it.
And then you eventually find a timing. And this will take a long time. It's very important. This is a core practice principle. It's very important to realize that consistent practice is much better than a long session of straight practice.
And that's something right there that I am very guilty of, because I didn't really I didn't get that before. Lots of hand pains later, and I'm starting to get it now. So what my promise to myself is to try and practice for at least an hour a day. At least. And that's kind of hard because I do work night shift. When I get off of work, I might try and stream that way. like in the morning, just a quick session. Better than
Breaks
nothing.
and sleep help you learn, especially things like
I work night shifts. Sleep doesn't exist.
the effects of your practice are not done until you've like played, went to sleep, woken up, and then like try again. That's basically when like you have accumulated the full effects of your practice. Because a lot of the time you practice something and you can't do it, and then you go to sleep or you take a break, and then you can do it much better. Don't concern yourself too much with hitting things perfectly. Concern yourself more about practicing, focused, and staying concentrated. And yeah, so what I would do is I would just practice with weight dashing like this, making sure I get as few full jumps as possible, because those are the biggest culprit of screwed up movement. In general, obviously you don't want to like get a full jump, because then you have to like react to something different. Doing a slightly slower wave dash is not a big problem, and then you can start practicing it from like wave dashing, wave shining, and so on. It will take a long time to get this, but don't worry too much if you can't wave dash in the beginning. That's basically...
So wave dashing is going to be really important for me to learn. Prioritizing Falco, because the wave shining is a huge way to extend combos with Falco. So I'm going to
like
need to definitely
very basic
work on that.
Way of learning anything. If I do a common Dragon Ball, if I try to learn something in like how to edge guard, I always try to like do this, like do it too fast, do it too slow, try to slowly make up and reach this middle point where you get the perfect timing. So that's how I learn something new. So if I want to learn double shine, like, you know, I do the same thing, do it too fast, do it too slow. Sometimes it can be hard to do double shine too fast, but yeah, just make sure that you practice whatever you want. Don't add too many things, and try to practice as consistently as possible. And if you can, this is why I like Uncle Punch, track your progress. So try to like, you know, feel out. It can be hard for this one, but try to like maybe record a little video in OBS, or maybe a phone video playing a system, so that you can show yourself how it looked 10 days ago. Because in the moment it can be hard to appreciate your improvement, but over time you will see very clear differences.
So he says 10 days. I think he's saying that as an example. But if I see an improvement in 10 days with this...
Tracking progress when it comes to anything...
Oh, it's over for everyone.
Helps making it a habit. It helps help you stay motivated. And yeah, it's just a really good thing. And if you're not improving, it also tells you what you're doing wrong. Next up, we're going to do some tech that is specific to Fox, and then we're going to do the routine. The biggest thing with Fox is his jump squat. What jump squat means is that you jump faster than any other character, basically, which means that a couple of things, but most notably, it makes actions such as short hopping, JC up smash, and JC grab harder. Those are the biggest things you have to keep in mind. And even I have problems consistently short hopping every time. I can short hop like this easily, but especially when I'm a little bit rusty, I start fucking up. Yeah, you see there, short up nairs, when I try to do them as soon as possible. So right now I'm a little bit rusty, so I'll screw them up a little bit. Practicing instant short up nairs is not something I recommend to start with, because it's a very awkward motion. So to start off, just learn short hopping, and again, press it too lightly, like barely even touch the button, like you're like just missing it. And
nice
then
control.
Gradually move closer and closer until you're just very
this
good
is my
at
trainer,
lightly tapping it,
combo
and doing it
breaker.
very quickly. And then the problem with short hopping is that there's so many different ways. Short hopping out of shield for me is easier than dashing and then short hopping and then nairing. Like doing that nair is easier for me to do than that nair. So yeah, try to practice a couple different scenarios, but in general, just try to learn it. And again, this is something that practice will just get better, and eventually you'll get it. Now, after you're done short hopping, I would just suggest like learning how to time your nairs like mid height like this. If you're
So I'm at 851 right now. I think we've crossed into the territory of
basically
Fox specific tech, yeah. But the funny thing is that's still relevant for Falco, so I don't mind listening to it.
Like doing that nair is easier for me to do than that nair. So yeah, try to practice a couple different scenarios, but in general, just try to learn it. And again, this is something that practice will just get better, and eventually you'll get it. Now, after you're done short hopping, I would just suggest like learning how to time your nairs like mid height like this. If you're only gonna learn one nair height, then mid nair height is the best. If you want to
I think that's also
it,
true for
you can
Falco.
play on this one, and I would recommend. It's good enough to combo, and it's not slow like the latest possible nair, but it's not as hard to do as the earliest possible nair. Earliest possible nair also is unsafe on shield, and is less safe on CC as well. And obviously, it's the hardest. So don't mind doing that one earliest. In many cases, what I think is that if you
I don't think I am there with the movement yet, because I should definitely try practicing the L canceling. I think for my own future reference, I'm gonna come back to this. Let's watch later, I guess. Yeah.
Option is to do something frame perfectly. You're probably picking the wrong option. That means that like if you can only hit the Shadow Shield if you hit it, like the grounded one, it's not worth the risk. If you only think you'll get the nair out,
something about that moment just like I don't know, it got me. But yeah, there'll definitely be ultimate content coming. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch the rest of this. I'm just now realizing that it's probably not the most exciting thing to do. But at 16, there's supposed to be more.
I didn't publish it then because I didn't do as much YouTube. But yeah, so main one is just go to melee. You pick Fox. You make your CPU the player 4-1 because this is one with the best CPU. You pick level 1, level 3 doesn't really matter.
Is that true?
Pick a character that you want to practice against.
Or is that just Uncle Punch?
Here's the thing: you don't play stocks because stocks is not what we're trying to do. We're not trying to beat the CPU. We're not trying to destroy him as hard as possible. Nothing like that. And you can also if you put it to time into an XX, you can hold start, and it will start for you. Now here's the key thing that I do differently. Again, practicing too much will hurt your hands. It will make you burn out. It will make you focus too much on some things, get you frustrated. I really think that when you're doing a routine that's not supposed to be super specific, it's not supposed to be like, I'm going to learn wave shining backwards. I think keeping yourself, intentionally limiting yourself on time is good. And what I always do is I do some kind of timer, so like 3 minutes, for example. Now, this routine that I do is 10
Why did he cut so much there?
And I to it here. Basically, here you also have the breakdown. So if I do 9 minutes, put 9-minute timer, it will these 10 things.
Wait, hold up. Let me read this. Make sure you structure practice around what I need to work on. You can cut segments shorter or out completely if you need to make more time. Receive your character I want to practice and switch around. So the timer... 9 minutes. I don't get that. Maybe he'll explain it. Let's back up.
Put 9-minute timer. It will these 10 things will be 1.5 hours. If I do 6, it'll be 1 hour. If I do 5, it'll be 45 minutes. If I do 3, it'll be 30. 2, 20. So you can kind of adjust yourself. Do I have 20? Do I have 30? And I'll be
okay. I think I get it now. So 1, warm up, move around, short hop. All right. So that's just basic movement, is what he's saying. Yeah, actually, he says simple movement in there. 2 short hop aerials, go through them each step by step. Nair, drill, bear, up air, fair. Okay. Then practice retreating, approaching, shield stop. Okay, actually, I'll admit I've never ever practiced shield stop nairs. But yeah, basically what he's saying is like when you're done with the aerial attack, you'll stop on your shield. Specific marks on the ground to ensure movements up to the aerial smooth. Okay, I can figure that out. Full jump, double jump, aerials, same as above. Visualize juggles. Okay, I don't think I'm at the visualizing yet because why would I be? Ground moves, running, shine. Okay, so that's like ground moves that would have some more potential for like combos. Okay. 5 dash dance wave laser practice move. Okay. Follow the same but started shield attacks as 5. Ledge dash, fire stall, practice the fundamental combo starters while making as few mistakes as possible. That's kind of the point. Shine out of shield. That's OOS. Things I've been missing recently. Okay, so 10 would be like a summary for next time. And I assume this is meant to be like a guideline. I think he's mentioned that before. Like a guideline, and then modify it to your specific needs. So that's what I'm going to do. All that stuff being said, thanks for joining me today. I've went ahead and already said what I'm going to be doing. So if you guys are willing to join me, by all means. Thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. I gotta get out of here. I'm actually probably gonna stream right now. So, finger guns.